interrupt again. There is a question concerning Libya.
Okay.
The question goes, so what should be done in Libya instead?
It's the crucial question about Libya. We have to remind, I think, that Libya, we may consider Libya as a chaotic country, and it is, but Libya is also a very rich country. It's the 9th oil reserve of the world. So the problem is not the wealthy of Libya, is who managed the wealth of Libya. So the first thing in Libya is to accept that we need to transport the militia in a path to reach transparency and democracy. So to be disarmed, and for us as Europeans, I think to openly tell to public opinion that we also need to talk with people which we don't like. Because the problem is that we cannot pretend to act in a reality we imagine. We are acting in a reality that is full of injustice and violence. So the thing in Libya is who, in fact, have the control of the territory? Militias, armed militias. So we, of course, have to do a path with them, but the path which is not being blackmailed by them, which is a path of start disarmed militia with the aim of building democracy. You have to imagine that the regime of Gaddafi lasted 42 years, more than double of, for example, Mussolini regime in Italy. So we have to imagine and to think that all the young people who took the streets in 2011, revolution in 2011, were young people who were already born when Gaddafi was there. So they have no idea of what democracy was, because they never lived in a democracy. So many of them, after the vacuum, after the revolution in 2011, in a disaster of a chaotic country helped by anyone, decided to take the easy way of money in a very rich country, which means controlling oil, controlling weapons, controlling smuggling, controlling migrants, work and passage to Europe. And the paradox in Libya is that even though Libya is a very rich country, there's few cash because it's controlled by the militia. So try to imagine, if you are a public employer, like, I don't know, a nurse or a doctor or a teacher in a public school, and you don't have your salary for 6 months, 9 months, and suddenly a smuggler comes to you saying, do you want, I don't know, $200 to bring a group of migrants from Bani Walid and bring them to Tripoli? You don't have money. I offer you money. I'm filling the gap. So this is how smuggling has worked in recent years, a chain again. So I think as Europeans, if you want to help a country, we need starting stabilizing the institution, which means central bank, ministries, giving trust to the people, You have to imagine that Libya is a very huge country of 5 million inhabitants, and one of the recent reports of the United Nations says that there are 20 million weapons in the country. That is the problem we have to start from. Who is in control of the weapons? And so, of course, of the main facilities of Libya, oil wells and refineries for oil.